Well, good evening, everyone. I'm John O'Loughlin, and welcome to my channel. It's called McDuff_2020, and tonight we have gathered around us the Osprey Chorus to have a live version of our opening theme. So let's hear it, guys.
A little much. Chirp.
Well, I'm obviously a little bit tired and punchy tonight from another long day's work down here at Mystery Island, where the road crew's been down to D.C. Doing more interviews and meeting with people to try to get the very, very latest as to what's really happening in the nation's capital, and we appreciate that very much. Now everyone's gathered around the table tonight, and I was going to do my weekly book review and Dr. Mary's Monkey. So I was looking forward to that, but I know that we can do that next week. But we won't have this special group around us again tonight that we have tonight. So what I want to do is to spend the night just acknowledging a new friend of mine whose birthday it happens to be today, and that is Andy DeBala. So happy birthday, Andy! And so, without further ado, I'm just going to turn the camera around to folks, and we're just a very informal setting here, right here, and it looks like the first person up is Tara.
Oh, okay. Hello, and happy birthday, Andy.
Hey, Tara.
He's getting born. He's getting born today, and we all get to share this birthday, so we're very excited. And do I have a question that I'm supposed to start with, or just?
Just an observation.
Just anything
friend.
you'd like to
Okay,
say about
all right.
Andy DeBala.
This
Okay,
is the
so-
most embarrassing show
We love embarrassing Andy because he's so funny. He makes us laugh all the time, and it's just such good for our hearts. So we're gonna try to make him laugh a little bit, see how we can do. But yeah, so to get to spend time together on a birthday is very celebratory. This is actually a conversation that we're kind of weaving Andy in with McDuff. He's been, McDuff Sr., he's been helping with some of the photos and lots of different very exciting and emotional pieces and that we're gathering together of from furniture to pictures to feelings, and so we're part of this round table that we're doing right now is part of piecing that together. That's something that we're going to be working on, and we're kind of doing a historical bridge right now. And it's really exciting to kind of see the way things from the past are connecting to what's going on right now. And, we know our ancestors, McDuff and everyone, they're with us, our angels. And these are trying times, but very exciting times. And I'm so excited to share it with all of you.
All right, thanks, Tara.
Let's go this way. Tom.
Oh, gee.
Well, let's give Tara a round of applause.
Hey, Tara. Yeah, Tara's a great lady, too.
Yeah.
She's a great lady. It's been really, really great to meet her. But not to take anything away from Andy, our old buddy Andy. Andy. So, anyway.
This is Tom for
Yep.
everyone.
Yep. Nice to see everybody tonight. And we've had a really interesting time here over the last few days. And it's just been really fun and getting to know a lot of different people and ones that we've heard about and ones that we hadn't heard about. And just what a pleasure to meet John, and his wife, and just, all the history that's in the area and all the history and the things that we heard about that they discovered when they were looking through the archives, so to speak, that John has acquired over the years. And I'd hear the little stories about this and that they ran across even just yesterday and this afternoon, and it's exciting. It's really exciting to be a part of it and to go on into Washington and see what's going on and the changes that we saw today from the other day. And I don't know, it's just really overwhelming to see what they've got going on down there, and makes you wonder. They've got everything blocked off and big fences around that I mean, I just see dollar signs when I see all this stuff. I mean, I just see dollar signs and our tax money and everything going to. Is it necessary or not? Maybe. You know, how is this all going to go? We're all torn about that. We have different feelings about it. And, you know, some of us are unhappy about the way things are going. We're all unsure. And we haven't had a TV on since we've been here. And so we're not getting the outside scoop. All we have is our phones, basically, and streaming. I mean, that's where I get my news anyway. And most of the people that we listen to have been knocked off, including George and John and a bunch of our other friends, and we're actually running into them down here and meeting them on the scenes. We spent some time with Ann Vandersteel and this afternoon, and seen her a few times around town, which is unbelievable with all the people here. And here you run into them, you know, just out of the blue, kind of like, and very, very nice folks. So anyway, and my story about Andy, and happy birthday, Andy. And my story about Andy is I met Andy down at the network studio in down toward Toledo area in Michigan. I'm from Michigan, and I got to meet Andy, and literally within a couple hours, I knew that we were going to be buddies. I mean, you know, no matter how this is all going to work out, I mean, I had a new friend, and I could tell. And he's
Which one of you is younger?
yeah, right. Yeah, I've got a few more birthdays under my belt than he does.
He's got a new one now.
He does.
His belt.
He does.
Good to
So,
Yeah.
so anyway, it's just really great working with all these folks and all the nice people, you know, that make this thing happen. And I just got to say, they are genuine. They're not lying about what they're trying to tell or mislead you about anything that they do. And I'm saying this from my heart. You know, I love them all, and we all are contributing any way we can. And it's really, really exciting to be part of it.
All right. Love
All right.
you too, Tom.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I kind of
This
want
is
to,
Janet, everyone.
Yes.
Janet.
and I kind of wanted to bring it back to McDuff because to me it's about a continuity of time. And if McDuff was really, as we believe, fighting the same evil we're working on now, how interesting it is to be able to look back and see how he contributed to that fight. And you know, I read the book TDY, and when you were drawing that comparison to his job and how he could have affected that operation over there, I think it was in Laos, you know, that that he was fighting it just like his son is, you know, and all of us are. And we just, all we want is transparency, accountability, and representation,
That's right.
you know. And however it is that we can complete McDuff's job. That's what I want to do.
That's right.
Now, I have a question, follow-up question.
Amen.
Now, you're a commercial pilot, Janet. I'm going to be off screen, so you have to guess who this is. But you're now you flew Air America, is what I hear, and you were Evergreen Aviation, so you flew a lot of the drug runs into Thailand at a plane of jars, or is it? How did you know McDuff? How did you know McDuff again?
That was a former life.
Well, no, you got to say you were in Evergreen Aviation.
I was. I didn't know what I was flying. Let's put it that way.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Car
Yeah.
parts, remember?
Yes.
Look
parts.
who's next, the birthday.
It's officially the birthday boy.
And a fine engineer, producer, and
right.
friend.
I appreciate that. It has been a pleasure to get to know you the past couple of days, and combing through all your personal documents was just as fun as combing through all the historical ones too.
Do we need to talk later? Found out a lot, huh?
This is a little embarrassing. I come from a sports background. I'm used to just getting yelled at all the time and told stuff I'm doing wrong. So getting compliments feels a little off the charts.
Andy, get it together. Come on.
But it has been a pleasure to get to know everyone at the house. Each and every one of you guys just treat everyone with love, care, and joy, and you bring a great energy to the table. And can't ask for anything else as a group because it just makes everything a little bit more exciting and adds that extra flavor to life that you enjoy. And
We're spicy.
just combing through the documents a little bit, I really am happy that you actually had the trust in me to let me do something like that, because it was actually a pleasure, like polishing your dad's chair and setting up the studio and seeing the look on your face as you sit there with your dad looking over you. It was there's a couple personal notes I saw your dad write, some of the family members and people's where they were writing you after his passing, and there were some definite presidents and stuff that were sending some condolences to your mother, and I definitely had some emotional moments where I had to step out of the room and put the stuff down and get away from it just to contain myself a little bit. But overall, I feel like we are on point, and we need to finish his work here, and we're on track. Thankfully, George and you guys got together and started this whole journey, and we're all here on Mystery Island, and we have a big project ahead of us in the next couple days in the next upcoming months where we're going to really complete the story, and I'm looking forward to helping you guys put that together.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Harold. That's great.
Hello.
Deborah.
My name's Deborah, and I'm glad to be here with all these like-minded people that seem to be on the same journey as me. I am a child of the Cold War and lived through the JFK assassination, and have really been living through that since without clarity. And with all the books and people and meetings that have been held every year since, with still missing parts. You know, we get new declassified documents that come through, but still we don't have the complete story. And until we have that complete story, I just don't see how we can really move forward to put these things at rest and see our way through to the other side. And so that's what we're doing here. And I am so fortunate to have found this group of people that have found this very important person that is going to help us see what we really need to see that hasn't been revealed yet. And so in these next couple of months, I hope that we have something to show for all his work, his lifetime.
That's right. Amen. Thank you, Deborah. That's very good.
How about those folks over there?
Anybody else?
Rising from his repose is now, I'm going to introduce you to Wes
Here
McCullough.
he comes.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Wes. All right. That was beautiful, Deborah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, again, we've come a long way since the spring there with the memorial to McDuff himself, and more and more we're realizing the fact that in spite of all, he chose paths that weren't necessarily expedient, but he knew they were right. So as we've carried on here, we've realized continuously that he's an example of all those things that aren't characteristic of our invertebrate Republican buddies, and certainly not of the opposition and the deep state, that you do what's expedient or what's going to maintain your pension or whatever alternative motives or whatever Chinese checks or if it's Yulin Tree, it's your fund, PFUND, Yulin's Tree. He did the consecutive money orders and the like. But that aside, we realize his contribution to inspiring us to basically do the right thing. We joked a while back of with a couple hats we had saying what would WWMD, what would McDuff do, and that's basically what we all have to be asking ourselves. And we get the resounding answer when we do that introspection and know that this man actually he's put his life in the line ever since the Japanese kamikazes or the deep state slime trying to bump him off. So we know those all those things are possible, but the right thing that in our hearts we need to follow. So
That's right. Nice. Yeah, that's true. Don't go anywhere.
next.
You want to sit here?
The chairs are.
Ellen? This is Ellen, everyone, from Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. And she's here representing another person from Colorado, had to leave one day early because he's running a business. That's Todd. So, Todd, this one's for you.
All right.
But it's for everyone that else is out there that follows this channel that are all part of our family, because I know all of you would love to be here just like me. And this just brings tears to my eyes. And those of you who've had a 33rd birthday come and go or haven't reached that yet, this is like a full circle moment to have this kind of history, this kind of moment. This is such a encompassing full circle of life with what we believe, all of us here, to accomplish, bringing forth our hearts to open up to you all, the listeners out there, any of you guys that are tuning into this right now. And I'm just going to start crying, so I don't know what else to say. I'm just so excited that this is a moment, because this is what this is about. I think this is what the whole Trump train, the whole business of us getting together is to bring forth the love. It is light that dispels darkness. So thank you for letting me be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ellen.
I guess I'll take a shot at this.
All right.
Actually, I will too.
Oh, you do it.
All right. I don't normally do this.
I know, this is
I usually like to stay behind the scenes.
This
but-
is
but-
Mrs. McDuff.
This is, here I am, usually known as drummer. I just want to say, first of all, happy birthday, Andy.
Thank you.
And I also want to say thank you. Thank you for all that you are doing. But I want to say thank you to all of you. Earlier tonight, we were talking, before all of this started, we were talking about how John and George connected. And I do have to tell you a little bit of a story that John tried for a long time to find somebody who understood what he was talking about and who understood the story that he was trying to tell about the work that his father did and what his father died for. Mm-hmm. And one day he called me and he told me about meeting this guy named George. And he said he understands, he gets it, he knows what I'm talking about. And I'm going to get a little bit choked up here because it meant so much to me to hear John feel this validation of finally being understood, of finally finding somebody who understood the story that he was trying to tell about his dad and about what is happening in our country. And I am so grateful to all of you for being here and for what you are doing to support John, to support George. And George, I'm so grateful to you for coming into our life. And I'm sorry that I'm getting so choked up because this has been really important for us. And I do sort of stay in the background, and I don't get involved in a lot of ways, but I listen and I pay attention, and I'm so proud of John and what John has done and what he has sacrificed to tell this story. And it wouldn't have been possible without all of you and without all of you out there too. So thank you.
Can we get an appearance by Alex Jones here?
Not like half in tears now, actually.
Yeah. You stand here.
I'll just stand right here. I actually was crying right then. Yeah, I was just gonna say thanks to the whole group, and this is special.
This
I
is
can't
Jay,
top
by
that.
the
I
way.
actually was just in tears. I'm Jay. But yeah, I think it's been a little dark the last few days, and as much as there's been, we all have hope. I think it's a time we all have to stay hardened and remember what happened. And the movement isn't over at all, and I think that people are waking up, and I think that meeting all you guys is important, because if this keeps growing and you keep spreading the knowledge and the light you have and the love you have, I guess, with people around you, that's the most important thing. So pleasure meeting you and all of you, and happy birthday, Andy. And
I'm a big crier.
I'm a crier too.
When I cry, I cry.
You want a tear from me? It's been a pleasure, and keep up the fight, everyone.
I better get in here. I'm not going to cry. Well, I'm a little bit cry. But, here's what I saw in John when he came to meet me, and we were walking the last steps of Seth Rich. And at that time, Seth Rich was this guy who was going to break the DNC thing and was going to break the case wide open. And as I'm listening to John talk, and we're having Thai food in Bloomingdale in Washington D.C. And as I talk, I said, "This sounds like the guy who's going to be the person who cracks the other great mystery." And the other great mystery, the DNC mystery, I'm still working on. We're not done yet. But the big mystery was I just felt it was going to be the JFK thing, and I knew about this guy named Angleton. I knew he was trying to undermine Hoover, but I didn't know exactly how. And I thought, the way he's describing this, this McDuff guy seems to be in the middle of all this. And I don't, it's kind of like the metadata feeling. I don't know exactly, but I know it's going to be around here somewhere. Like when you lose your keys around, it's going to be around here somewhere. And so that really, John gave me a beautiful layout. When I first met him, he gave me this orange book. And it went through the Navy, went through the FBI, went through the Joint Chiefs, and all that laid out. And I said, all these top people, right? These are the top people: MacArthur, and then Hoover, and then Kennedy, and all them, Krulak, and whatnot. They wouldn't all be going and tapping this guy if he wasn't in the middle of the whole deal, And so I just kind of felt like, and we had a lot of people coming at us at that time. I was doing a thing with Jason. We had a lot of people coming at us, but I said, this one's really going to be the answer to the test. I said, this is going to be the answer to the test. And I think that's what's so great about the research here, is because you know that every minute you put in, you're going to get the 10 minutes back. You just know. And it sure enough, we found out the Sullivan memo, which Sullivan's the guy who is doing the FBI investigation and sending it over to the Warren Commission. Who's the guy he goes to? Who's the go-to man for Kennedy? And who's the go-to man for the Warren Commission? McDuff. McDuff's that guy. So right then, I remember that day was like, oh my God, my spidey senses were right. This is going to be the deal. And it's just been one of those things, John. Every day, another thing. And we just last night showed a videotape here. We could only get it in videotape. It was called Yuri Nisenko, KGB. And if you don't know the story of the 60s, obviously Cold War was, life and death for everyone. We all were scared of the Russian anthem at the Olympics. And there's these three defectors. And there's Nasenko is one of them that this movie about that Tommy Lee Jones did that we showed last night. There's another one, which is Golanowski, which is supposedly this last of the Romanovs that weren't killed off when the Bolsheviks killed all of the kids, And they threw them all down the shaft or whatever. They kept the one kid, and this is the one kid, another high-level defector. We know Macduff worked with these high-level Russian defectors, so we're close. We don't have all the answers. And then the third one was this sort of defector that was produced by the CIA guys, the bad guys, Bissell and Angleton, which I always say is the fake. So I just showed John the tape tonight for the first time. You all saw the movie last night. And I think to a person here, from what I heard when we watched it, John just saw clips tonight. It was like, that's Macduff. When they saw the Tommy Lee Jones character, they go, oh, that's Macduff. And it looks just like him. And then there's this scene where they had met this defector, Nasenko, this Tommy Lee Jones character, before the assassination in the arms talks in July of 1962. This is right around the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis. And that's when this guy approaches this character. And then later they find out, of course, Oswald shoots Kennedy, and they go into this locked room, and they key in this digital code, and they go in, and there is just filing cabinets as far as you can see. And I thought, oh my God, that's Macduff 68,000 files. I'm calling Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones produced the movie himself because he couldn't get an acting job in Hollywood. So he said, well, give me a script where we have a lot of stuff. And that is the story of that movie. So we're going to do clips of it because you can't get it anyplace else. It's only we had to find a VCR player. Yes. So I think that's the fun part about this. It's not all work, work, work. I know you guys did incredible stuff. It's not all work, work, work. It is fun. We're seeing this, Tommy Lee Jones as a nobody making his first film, and that's the great part. So, John, I just want to leave it at that. Marcia, thank you very much for your wonderful comments. We're not doing this for anybody's ego. We're doing this because we believe left and right, center and whatever, that integrity, bravery, fidelity, FBI's, that means something. Yeah. Fidelity, bravery, and integrity, that's not what it stands for.
Oh, no, Mary Moore.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm giving him the microphone. Just give me a second. I'm just saying that's what Macduff embodied, was the FBI logo. And I think that's what we got to get back to. It can't be this crime thing. And either left or right. It can't be the crime. So with that, John, I say this has been an incredible journey, and I'm going to hand it back to you. And you thought this was going to be 3 minutes.
Well, guys, that's just so touching and moving to me, and I agree with what everybody has said about Andy. He has a sense of humor that I think is unique, and I've so enjoyed being in the same room, the same crowd with Andy, and working together is just a terrific pleasure for me. It's my understanding that there is some cake being prepared and perhaps a little party going to happen. So I think what we'll do right now is probably just call it a night. And, we'll take the rest of the evening off, celebrate, and back to work early tomorrow morning, pulling out more Macduff files, sorting them out, and making a record, as everyone has said. And so that'll be our work for tomorrow. But tonight, we celebrate Andy's birthday and to celebrate all of us that have been able to get together. And, it's just a miracle. I never thought I'd ever have this kind of support for the story I'm trying to tell. And it is my deepest hope is that when my father's story is told and people understand it, that it will unlock the key to understanding the history that we've all lived through. And it will then able to do that Macduff function of setting everything right and everybody back on the right course for the future generations. So, again, happy birthday, Andy. Thanks, everybody. And let's send it off with a nice Osprey call. Wait a minute.
Andy, happy birthday?
You want to sing happy birthday?
Yeah, you sing it. You sing it. But I will sing it together. I'll start it. You start coming.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Andy. Happy birthday to you. All right, Ospreys.